Alright, just picked this thing up. This is a 1998 YZ125. Doesn't look too bad. Picked this thing up for $950. The seller stated in the ad that the piston ring went out on it. And he said all it needs is a piston ring. So we're going to see today what this thing actually needs. I got there after driving an hour 45 minutes, and honestly it feels like it has compression. So maybe something else is going on. I really hope it's not the rod bearing, but it definitely could be. It feels pretty smooth in there. I just can't see it being the ring, but you never know. For 950 bucks, I thought it was a pretty good deal. It's got the FMF shorty pipe on there, Tusk foot pegs, got the hand guards, actually only one of them, looks like the other one fell off. Unbreakable levers. I think the pipe is stock, it's just paint stripped and polished, it looks like. You got the factory racing Boyson cover, the clutch cover. I'm hoping there's a clutch basket in there too. That'd be kind of nice. Then like the aftermarket oil cap there. So there's stuff like that that's kind of nice to have. We'll see if there's an air filter in there today. But he said he never touched it. He said it wouldn't start, and he put it away like this. I asked him if he tore it down at all. He said no, he didn't touch it. He didn't have time. He actually had it up for $1,500 and came down to $950. So, pretty decent deal. What kind of bars are on here? Oh, it does have an hour meter on here, 33.3 hours. So that's quite a few. Got the Renthal bars. The Guts seat cover. It's not a bad looking bike. So let's see if we can figure this thing out today. I do have a couple pistons we can use, so I'm hoping that it is just the piston and the rings. We can get this thing up and running today. But we will figure it out today. So let's get this thing unloaded and in the garage. Alright, little walk around here. Not a bad looking bike. Doesn't look like the fork seals are leaking at all. Engine case looks pretty decent. Chain and sprockets, got DID chain, 520 chain. Does have a little case saver on here. It's got the Mikuni carb. It doesn't hurt to try to start it up. Maybe it'll start right up. Who knows? She doesn't want to fire, so something's definitely going on. We have master mechanic Vinny here to sniff out the problem. What do you think it is, Vin? He's checking it over. He smells something. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, buddy? What do you think? What do you think it could be? Yeah, he doesn't think it's good, so he's never wrong. Let's start with just checking the air filter, see if the air filter's in there. If it's not, then most likely it could be the piston and the rings, if there's sand and stuff getting in there. But this kid's grandma said that he would ride in the back of their woods and that was basically it. A couple jumps back there, a couple trails, so it's not like he was riding it too hard. So we'll see. There we go. A little force. Alright, looks like a brand new air filter in there. All oiled up. Looks really good. Yeah, looks perfect. Huh. So I don't think any dirt or sand was getting in here. Pretty sealed off, so that looks good. Let's check the coolant. Maybe it got hot. Maybe it ran low on coolant. Oh, you can see coolant's topped off in there. So there's definitely coolant in it. And that's the water pump went. Vinny's still sniffing it out. I don't think he could solve this bike. He's sniffing towards the piston. I don't know. Let's check out that oil. We've got this fancy oil cap here. Let's take that off. Alright. Get a little dipstick in it. Let's see here. There's not a whole lot of oil in it. So I'm just trying to see if the oil's milky. That'll tell us if that water pump seal is bad. The oil really doesn't tell us anything about the top end because it's a sealed off crank on a 2-stroke. So if the top end's bad, you won't have any chunks or anything in the bottom end. But if the transmission's bad, you will definitely see chunks in here. If the clutch is bad, you'll see chunks in here or metallic flakes. But it won't tell us anything about the rod bearing or the piston. Okay, there's some oil. We finally got that to go. And that looks brand new. It is super clear. Huh. I've seen this a lot on bikes where owners go, oh, you know, my bike doesn't start. And I always go, did you check the gas? And a lot of times gas flow is bad or the vent for the tank cap is clogged, and as the bike runs, no gas is flowing to the carb, so that could definitely be a possibility too. Let's just take this off. It looks like there's already gas flowing though, so I don't think that's an issue. Let's see what that gas looks like. It's mixed. Looks like it's mixed pretty good, and he was using Klotz, so it's pretty decent oil. So it was getting oil, we know that for a fact. So it should be lubricating the piston, the rod bearing, everything with that oil. So I just don't see how the top end would go. Unless, of course, that water pump failed. Or like a head gasket failed. Yeah, so far so good. See if that's clogged. Come off now. Alright, see if any wires are pulled out. All the wires there look good. We'll check for a spark right away. Could be a bad CDI. Or a bad coil ground. Or a bad kill switch if we don't have spark. So let's just see. Or a bad boot too. Alright, it's tight in there. BR8ES plug. It's the correct plug. We'll see if it's fouled out. Looks like it was running a tad lean. You can see the plug's pretty white there. So maybe it did blow up. Sounds pretty smooth. See if we have any spark here. Great spark. So I don't think it's a plug. And we definitely have spark, so it's not that. I guess what we can do now is get a compression tester in there and see if it's got low compression. Let's see if any coolant's coming out of here. It feels like good compression. It's blowing off my finger. That's weird. That is very odd. Let's see what we get here. Put this right in here. This thing needs to have about 150. So right at the line right there. When you throttle open, I'm kind of hoping it's going to be the piston and the rings, but I don't know. Here we go. Almost at 100 already. We're almost at 150. .140. So we're good for compression. I'd expect it to have about 140 with 33.5 hours on it, so compression's right there. Huh, maybe we're not getting fuel. All right, so it looks like compression is right where it needs to be. This bike should start up with that compression easily and run pretty good. Obviously it could use new piston and rings after 33.5 hours, but it should still run pretty good with 140 pounds of compression. We're going to be going on to the carb and we'll see if there's like a pilot jet clogged or something like that, because maybe it's just not getting fuel. That would be the easiest fix in history for like the best price. That would be awesome. These bikes typically go for anywhere to $2,000 to $2,500, so it'd be a pretty good deal if it was just a clogged pilot. Look at this dude checking out the bike still. He still can't figure it out. Finn, what are you doing? Like, we'll have to check out the reeds too. That wasn't too bad to get out. You can see the slides working, going all the way down. Looks good. Choke appears to be working. We'll check that out too. Everything's looking pretty decent. Alright, just gonna try to dump this into a cup. Yeah, there's gas in it. Lots of gas, so it's definitely getting gas. Let's see. But maybe we can get lucky. I think we need to take that bolt off there. Looks clean in there. Something's going on with the O-ring though. That's a weird O-ring. Huh. Here we go. Let's see. Ooh, there's some hardened up stuff right there. What's that? Oh, look at that. It might be clogged. Looks like he was using some ethanol gas here. Big chunks of stuff in there. Well, we might get lucky on this one, guys. Maybe. Alright, so the bowl was pretty dirty in there. Get this float out of here. No gas in the float. Needle looks perfect. That can come off. Yeah, look at, there's some gunk in the carb here still. It's like hardened up gas. Alright, looks like we're running a 350 main. We'll get the seat out of here. Let's get this out too. I don't want to lose that screw. Let's see how the O-ring on the seat looks. Looks pretty good. Some old gas on there too though. So it definitely needs a carb clean. Alright, moment of truth here. Is the pilot jet clogged here? So a clogged pilot jet is gonna cause hard starting. Oh yeah, she's clogged. Oh yeah, it's clogged, and it's partially clogged too. I just blew through it really hard, and it's still partially clogged by something. So pilot was clogged. Let's see what size that was. 45 pilot. Let's see there. So that was clogged. Let's see what the air screw was at. We're at only one turnout on the air screw. A little spring in there yet. Let's see if we can get that out. Okay. Air screw looks okay. Nothing wrong with that. We'll get the choke off next. This is just a 14mm wrench. That's pretty bent. Look at that. Why is it so bent? But it is working. But you can see it's really bent. Let's see if I can bend it back. No, it's pretty strong. So it looks like everything was pretty good except for that pilot jet. So we'll blow through it with some compressed air, some brake cleaner. We'll clean it up a bit, and then we'll reinstall everything onto the bike and see if she fires up. All right, carburetor's all back on. Before we put it back onto the manifold here, let's check out these reeds. Alright, here's the last one. Alright, let's see what this manifold looks like. Not a single crack in that thing. That looks perfect. Reeds are coming out here. Carbon fiber reeds, look at that. That corner's broken off right there. But that shouldn't hinder performance too much because you can't see any light through it. But these carbon fiber reeds always break at the corner, see that? There's another broken corner off of that one. This one's good. Yeah, they're all closed. Let's see if they're opening here. Yeah, they're all opening, so that's pretty good. So those are decent. Could probably use new reeds at some point here, but they should start and run good like that. I'm just gonna try to look in by the piston here. Rotate this thing over. Just want to see if there's any scratches or anything like that going on. If I can get a flashlight in there. Piston looks good. Alright, gas on, choke on, if I can get that up. There we go. Choke is on, gas is on. We're gonna put a little gas on the spark plug hole. So the plug looks wet. So maybe it's just a fouled plug, maybe it is fouled. Huh. We'll try a little gas down the cylinder first, see if that works. All right, it must not be getting spark, so we're gonna change out that spark plug. New spark plug in there, let's see what happens. Does not want to go. All right, gas is directly down carb. No goo. All right, second brand new plug going in. Maybe the brand new plug was bad. We don't know. Let's see. Alright, so this bike is not starting up. We've tried 3 different plugs, 2 brand new ones, and then a used good one off of a bike I know started. So the plug is not the problem. We take out the plug is wet, so we know we're getting fuel. Is it too much fuel? I don't know. It should still start. Either it's got a plugged up pipe here, or there's gas in the crankcase flooding it out, or timing is off. Maybe the woodruff key is sheared off and timing is off. That's the only thing I can think of, because it should fire up. You could hear it trying to, but it would just like die right out. So yeah, it's very strange. We know there's compression, we know there's fuel, and we know there's spark, so it's gotta be something simple. So let's take off the pipe first, investigate that. Maybe it's filled with fluid. Nothing in the pipe. Oh, what the heck? Pipe is clean. That is weird. Wanting to go. It's trying. No go, so it's not the pipe. All right, well, so far this bike is definitely a mystery. Let's see if the woodruff key sheared off here. That's really the only thing left. I don't know what else it would be. So maybe the guy was riding it, woodruff key sheared off, and it shut off, and couldn't get the fire back up, and he thought it was the piston. I don't know. Let's take a look here. Look at that. It's not even grabbing. Well, that would be the problem. Holy cow. What the heck? Did the crank break? Jeez, what the heck? This isn't even attached. What is going on? What? That's crazy. That's insane. Wonder. Let's see. I've never seen it just spin like that before. But it's spinning the crank, so I'm a little concerned about that. I think it just broke right off. I think it's just broken right off. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. It's just wobbly. What is going on? That sucks if the crank is broken. Let's see here. What? Look at that. Wow. The crank is just broken. I don't get it. That is insanely weird. So look, this just spins, and the rest of the crank stays on there. I've never ran into this problem before. You can see it's all wobbling there, so I know it broke. Let's see if I can get a nut on there and pull it out. Extremely odd. I don't get how that would break. Because when you kick it over, yeah, it doesn't spin the flywheel, but yet we had spark. So it sometimes spins it, sometimes not. Look at that. How did we even get spark? It's not even rotating. Oh, I wish it was the woodruff key. Looks like this is going to be a full teardown now. And this is even worse than a rod failure. This is the whole crank. It's junk. Oh man, does that suck. That is a huge bummer. Yeah, but I've done work on probably thousands of bikes. I've never seen this happen before. Where the crank just breaks. The flywheel looks good. It's not like the flywheel was binding up or anything. How does that even happen? All right, let's start tearing this thing down. We gotta get this engine out so that we can Check out that crank. Luckily, these cranks are not that hard to get. They're like 150 bucks on eBay. So that makes me feel better. So pulling out of here. Open the radiator cap here. Should spurt out. There we go. All right, we got the carburetor, spark plug, the wires off, everything off the engine. Let's try to pound the swing arm bolt through. Hopefully it's not stuck. That would really suck. Well, we got lucky there. All right, engine is out. Let's start tearing into this thing. All right, we're draining the oil now. I couldn't get a wrench on here before. Meter on there, and it works just fine. So let's drain off this oil. Ooh, it is really metallic-y in there. That is not good. Lots of metal. Huh. Oh boy. All right, we ran into more fun. This is all epoxy around here. Look at that. It's all gunk. So, I think the case is a wreck too. Keeps on getting better and better. Let's get this top end off. It's fine, hopefully. See what this head looks like. Coming off. That O-ring was completely trash. That was not even on there correctly. Jeez. Yeah, O-rings are junk on here. Head looks good though. No damage to the head. Stock piston in there, 54 millimeter. So that's good. Power valves are working. That's good. There we go. That's off. Jeez. This is back corner. There we go. Oh yeah, piston has some blow by there. Cylinder looks really good. Really good. Luckily. Yeah, that looks amazing. Blow by on the ring. A lot of blow by the ring. Rod is actually fine. Rod bearing is fine. Just a little side to side. No up and down play. Yeah, this looks like an aftermarket rod too. It says WR1008. Interesting. So it looks like it was rebuilt with a new crank. I wonder what the heck happened. Huh. Looks like a brand new crank in there. So you can see holes were drilled for the piston. Looks good. Ring is probably pretty worn after 33.5 hours, but yeah, they installed the piston correctly. Alright. See what's going on with the water pump here. See what that impeller looks like. It rotates with the crank. Looks really good. Impeller doesn't have any broken pieces on it. Cover is nice. No wear in the cover. Looks like we've got the stock clutch in there, stock clutch basket. All right, everything is looking good. Water pump spins freely. Yeah, everything looks good so far. Springs are kind of stuck in there. Looks like maybe new clutch plates in there. See if it comes off now. Maybe something was holding it up. Those usually come off pretty easily. Alright, washer, whole basket can come off. Alright, everything looks pretty decent. Not seeing any broken gears or anything, are you guys? So far so good. Alright. Let's get this crank gear off. Oh, look at that. That's broken. That gear right here. Little piece broken off. So that is one piece broken off. I wonder if that's all the metal right there. That was like barely on there. Look at this crank. Move that up and down. That's not good. Alright, we can pull this out of there. Shift shaft. Alright, kickstart mechanism. You can see the gear right there. It's like welded to it. It's rubbing right there. So, probably need a new kickstart mechanism here. We can take it out. We don't have to mark it. Crank seal looks like it might be junk. Alright, let's split these cases. See what's going on the inside. That split really easily. So I'm thinking it wasn't rebuilt too long ago. I'm guessing 33 hours ago. This one was fully rebuilt with a new crank, new piston, everything. So I wonder if they used a cheap crank in here that failed. We will see. Alright, here we go, moment of truth. Let's open this up. That is crazy. Crank is cut right off. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. See if the bearings in here are good. Yep, bearing there feels good. That bearing feels good. So that all feels good. Crank seal doesn't look too bad. Check that out right there. It broke right off there. That takes a lot of force. And that bearing's so bad. Listen to that bearing. What kind are these? Oh, Japan bearings. Let's get this crank out of here. That's crazy though. I have never seen that happen before. That's hardened steel, so something must have popped loose. Well, the teeth are looking good so far. Nothing missing so far. We'll take those out and inspect those, but everything looks good in the transmission. So the metallic flakes must have been that one gear that was grinding down. Get this crank out. I want to see what brand this crank is. Oh, that bearing's toast too. Crank bearings are gone. Rod bearing's good though, which is crazy. What brand is this thing? Wiseco. A Wiseco crank. Or at least a Wiseco rod. So I'm guessing he used a Wiseco rebuild kit. And it just broke right off. Jeez. That's probably why you don't use Wiseco cranks. Yeah. But yeah, look at that bearing. They must not have replaced the crank bearings when they were in here. That is a loud crank bearing. That's really bad. Yeah, everything else looks good though. Let's see the case half here. Yeah, that's a little concerning. That is a little concerning right there. I don't like that. But yeah, definitely needs new crank bearings. Obviously a new crank. This one just completely failed. A couple new gears here and there. New top end for sure. Which I think I have a new piston here for it. Yeah, here are all the parts, and the cylinder looks good, clutch looks good, everything else looks good. So really, it was just that crank that failed, that messed everything up. I think the crank failed, and then it caused the crank bearings to fail because it was wobbling up and down like that. And then that probably caused that one gear to fail that was chipped. But everything else looks pretty decent. So if we can find a crank, some crank bearings, a gasket kit, and a top end kit, we should be good to go. We've got about $950 invested so far. If we can stay under like $500 for everything, we should be in good shape. But I was hoping we were gonna get lucky with this one, have it just be like a carb clean or a fouled spark plug. Because when I went there, it had compression. I was like, oh, maybe we'll get lucky. But unfortunately, this had to happen. So that was a little unlucky. I'm not sure why that happened, but yeah, it must have locked up somewhere. I don't know if the crank bearing locked up and seized that, and then it just kept on spinning the crank, or what. But yeah, never seen that happen before. First time ever I've seen a crank just cut in half like that. And you know, it could have been a flaw in the crank as well from the factory. I don't know, what do you guys think? Yeah, so that is definitely interesting. So we are going to rebuild this thing next video and hopefully have a running, driving bike that we can enjoy for under $1,500. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next one. And until next time, we are out.